Hey buddy, let's dive into the ocean of Python's default parameters, and trust me, it's a fascinating world under the surface. Imagine writing a function and having it work even if you forget to pass some arguments. Default parameters in Python are like friendly neighbors who always have that extra cup of sugar you might have left out for them. They're pretty handy, but there's a lot to unpack here, especially for an IT fresher like yourself. So we're talking about a time when we define a function, right? Now, Python is pretty chill with extra information. You know how it is sometimes better to have a friend step in if you can't make it to your own party? Default parameters in Python are like that. They're the friend you didn't invite but they show up anyway, ready to make things awesome. They provide a default value that doesn't cost you a penny when creating an object unless you explicitly specify another value. Python definite greet, print, when you run greet you're all set unless you want a personal touch. Just call it without arguments, and Python happily prints out a generic greeting. Simple, isn't it? But wait, there's more. Say we dotted someone named Neeraj, and you are greeting him. Just casually slip him his name, Python greet. Now here's something you might not even realize, how the body of a function knows about default parameters unless they're mentioned. If we don't call a parameter, guess what? Python steps in with the default we've graciously provided inside the function definition. No need for extra imports or global variables. Python keeps things local. Imagine doing your weekly grocery shopping with a cart full of items from the store's freezer section automatically added into your basket. That's the kind of convenience you can get from Python, and default parameters are key to that. I know what you are thinking, great, so they're flexible, but what's the catch? Excellent point. With great power comes great responsibility, and in this case, it's keeping your code performance snappy and reliable without sneaky bugs lurking in the undergrowth. Default parameters must respect the types they're meant to work with, and if the function demands an integer, but we give it a string, that's when things get wonky. Python will kindly but firmly chastise us, like a referee in a tennis match, throwing type errors and shouting exceptions that tell you exactly what's misplaced. Remember, it's always better to have a friend over than an anonymous one. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. Default parameters may sometimes not just be simple values, but even other functions or complex objects. Think of them as the Swiss Army knives of your code. They enable code reuse and modularity, letting you pull in different functionalities as needed without duplicating effort or wasting resources. Impressive functionality, isn't it? And yet, a pitfall looms when we use mutable default arguments, the chameleons of the parameter world. If you default a list or a dictionary within your function and call it without arguments, Python creates a new object each time. But if you make one of those mutable parameters the default parameter, and the object changes, it gets passed around, not just once, but each time the function gets called. Beware the mutable default parameter, my friend. It's like a game of pass the parcel with secrets you didn't know were there. Before we let Python take us down the rabbit hole, here's an exercise I encourage you to sink your teeth into. Craft a function using default parameters where it personalizes a report for each reader with different salutations and details. Experiment with various default parameter types, watch for errors, and see if mutable defaults can get your code to behave predictably in a loop. So, as you dive deeper into default parameters, remember, they're your friend and ally if used wisely. They're flexible, easy to maintain, and can lead to elegant solutions. Default parameters are like Pythonic shortcuts in your coding pathway. helping both you and Python communicate efficiently, but they come with a promise to use them responsibly for the sake of elegant, maintainable, and resource-smart code. And hey, if you ever need a place to learn more, visit Neeraj's page and maybe subscribe to the TechLab channel. Stay tuned, because Python's a never-ending learning journey, and I can't wait to see how you'll play the language in the game. Cheers!